Welcome to another episode of GeekOutdoors.com. On a previous episode, I talked about the iPad Pro and Samsung Galaxy View. Now, at the time, they didn't really come out yet. It wasn't fully released, but now it is fully released. And there's already been a lot of reviews and stuff talking about them. But, a lot of these reviews, they're from people who are, either tech reviewers or they have millions of dollars. Stashed away. So I'm not one of those people. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go inside Best Buy, and this is like an average consumer looking at these two products. And so I'm going to look at them and I'm going to compare them and kind of see what the pros and cons are, and then whether or not that they still make sense. I can still go back to my older video and say, who is this really for? So let's go ahead and go inside and check it out. I'll be right back. Okay, here is the big boy, the iPad Pro. And as you can see, it's a big ass iPad. What else can I say? But looking around, as always, very high build quality. It's got excellent speakers. Everything's solidly built. And the speakers, they're really loud, and the resolution on this thing is pretty fantastic. I mean, the screen looks awesome. Now, I'm going to test some features here. One of the benefits of having a big screen is that you could do split view. So as you can see right here, I have a YouTube app on the left, and then on the right, you could choose a limited selection of apps that will work with split view. And so I'm going to test this, a few of these. So let me see. Let's go ahead and go to the news app. I think there's a news app here. Yeah, so and a lot like Samsung, what they did with their tablets, they have a split view feature, but it is limited to the applications that they have working for it. So, and when it's split screen, that does not mean this is true multitasking like you would get on your laptops and desktops. So realistically, you could only do like one thing at a time, in terms of the processing that's occurring. And that's not to say that the iPad Pro can't handle it, because it has a beastly hardware underneath. It can definitely do it. It's just that the software needs to be built, and app developers need to take advantage of this feature. But as you can see here, nothing real crazy special. I had a hard time getting rid of that split screen. I didn't know how to do it, to be honest with you. But everything's really silky smooth, and there's a little video feature right there. So no problems there. So that's one benefit of it. And, I talked about the processing power. So one of the things I wanted to test it was their design programs. And one of them that was installed was this AutoCAD program. And if you're not familiar with CAD programs, they're really, really processor intensive. And as you can see here, it loaded up really, really quick. No problem. So that's just a testament to how much power this thing has underneath the hood. And another thing that this hardware can do is it does an amazing job on games. And the game I'm testing here, it's not really like a super duper intensive game, but it just kind of shows you the power that this thing's packing. As you can see, it loaded up really, really quick, and the graphics look awesome on this. It's hard for you to kind of appreciate how great this screen is, but it is a great screen. It's excellent. I love the screen, and as you can see, everything's really responsive, no problems. Me trying to clumsily play on this iPad Pro with one hand, it's not going to work. So I'm not going to be winning any trophies there. And so as you can see, performance is excellent. I had really no problems with the performance at all. So you definitely get a lot of performance for the money right here. Speaking of money, how much does this thing cost? Well, it starts at $799 for a Wi-Fi 32 gig, and it goes up past $1,000 for the 128 gig, especially when you add the keyboard and the Apple Pen. So what else can you get for your money? As you can see, you could buy MacBook Pro. You could get a Surface Pro, Microsoft, and then all the other Windows laptops. Man, you can get some beastly laptops with super high resolution screens, tons of space. And the reason why I'm looking at these is because Apple builds the iPad Pro as basically a laptop replacement for power users and creatives. But honestly, for that amount of money, especially when you add the accessories or you add more storage, you're not going to get nowhere near as much value as you would getting a straight up laptop. And if you could spend about $100 more over the base model, you could actually get yourself an entry level gaming PC. Yeah, $899. So you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck there if you want a powerful laptop. Now let's move on to the Samsung Galaxy View. Oh my God, I thought the iPad Pro was big. Damn, this thing just makes it look like, oh man, it makes it look like a toy in terms of like the size. You know, it makes it look like a kid's tablet. That's what I meant to say. This thing is just massive. And to be honest with you, there's nothing special about this, really. It's just a big tablet. Big TV tablet, actually. It reminds me of a computer monitor that you just happen to stick Android on. And so, you know, I'm just looking through YouTube and stuff. I'm just trying to see if there's anything here that would warrant you buying this. And I didn't really see anything. Now, there is a home screen multimedia feature. I'll show that here in a little bit. But as you can see there, it's just a tablet. And honestly, it doesn't have a lot of the features that Samsung's high-end tablets do. And let's look at the back real quick. Yeah, monstrous. And you see this little handle right here? Yeah, it's like a briefcase. If you're gonna look silly carrying around an iPad Pro, you will look like a complete fool carrying this around. I dare anybody to carry this around because it's just laughable. It's ridiculous. So speaking of that media feature that I talked about, on one of the home screens here, as I'm testing out random apps, that's actually the browser. And, you know, actually it was kind of slow, to be honest with you. The performance wasn't that great. Nothing like the iPad Pro. And the multitasking is there. Like I said, nothing special. I didn't find a split screen feature in there, too, that I would expect out of Samsung products. So here's that media screen I'm looking for. There it is. This media window, panel, whatever you want to call it. I kind of thought they had their own special apps for these that you would just click on and it would go to it. But when you click on it, all it really does is it tries to, it goes to the App Store for you to download the app. And all it really is, it's just a shortcut to the app, which is really lame. I mean, it's just lame. So they're billing this as a replacement. Samsung's billing this as a replacement for your mass consumption device, which would be basically a TV. And so let's look at this price of $499, and let's go look at some other ways you could get your mass consumption. There it is. Mass media consumption starting off at $399. You could get yourself a big HD TV, big beautiful screens, and you have a wide selection, just like the iPad Pro. With your selections of laptops, you have a huge selection of media consumption devices, i.e. big HD TVs. And you could get like a 50-inch TV for the price that you're going to pay there for $499. So that's I don't know why anybody would buy that for media consumption. So that's it. So there you had it, y'all. An actual real-world average consumer look at the iPad Pro and Samsung Galaxy View. And so basically, after looking at those, as you saw me clumsily try to handle them, I still don't see who they're for. They're very hard to hold, especially the Samsung Galaxy View. That's definitely not a one hand at all. But even with the iPad Pro being very thin, it is just massive. I mean, very well built, of course, very thin, but it is just really massive. You can't hold that thing for too long. And once again, as you saw the price comparisons, $799 starting for iPad Pro, $499 starting for the Samsung Galaxy View. It's pretty expensive. And then, as I showed you, the comparisons of the other things that you could buy. And let's not forget that there are accessories, mainly for the iPad Pro, where you're going to spend about $1,200 if you're going to get the folding keyboard and also the pen as well. The Galaxy View doesn't really have any any type of accessories really that you really need. So that's pretty much it for this episode. I really still don't know who it's for, unless you just are really in love with Apple and Samsung products, or you just got a lot of money to spend. And if you do have a lot of money to spend, full disclosure, I'm going to leave links to my Amazon site below, and you can go ahead and purchase the iPad Pro and Samsung Galaxy View down there if you'd like. So if you do like these videos, don't forget to subscribe. And for full written episodes, audio episodes, and additional geek content, head over to geekoutdoors.com, and I will see you outdoors on the very next episode.